In 1929, the stock market crashed, sending the United States and the world into what today we call the Great Depression. A social impact of the Great Depression is the separation of households. Men were embarrassed and disillusioned for not being able to provide for their families due to the economic crisis, leaving their household and abandoning their families, leaving women to raise children and attend to the financial responsibilities of a household. This is an example of how national emergencies can impact relationships in society. We may think that prior to the arrival of the coronavirus pandemic and the guidelines that came with it, we were a very social community that engaged in face-to-face conversations or participated in social interactions. The reality is that a large portion of our population was very disconnected from social interactions. Both young and old spend large time of their day in front of a device, ignoring the face-to-face conversations around them. The last thing people do before they go to sleep is check their phone. The first thing people do when they wake up is check their phone. We have become a society that is addicted to screen time. As the number of new COVID-19 cases increased nationally, governments began to implement stricter guidelines. For a community began 1 month ago with the closure of schools and all non-essential businesses. One of those guidelines is social distancing, staying at home and only be in public for very important business, such as getting medicine or buying groceries. While in public, remain 6 feet apart from other people and wear masks. People are participating in social distancing and still socializing by exercising as a community from their driveways, remote learning or distant learning implemented by school districts, or engaging in social interactions through video conferences. But if the new cases of the virus do not decrease, governments will be forced to implement stricter guidelines, such as closing cities like we saw in Italy. So the question is, what will happen once we return to normalcy? Will we cherish our friendships more? Will we make the time to hang out with the people we love? Or will we return to arguing between families and friends over petty things? Will we sit down as a family or as a group of friends and enjoy a good meal and participate in a memorable conversation? Or will we return to a disconnected dinner where all members of the family are on their device? After this passes through, because it will, how will COVID-19 impact our social interactions and the relationships we have within our community?